Let's talk about the Starlets team. I was there with you yesterday
Exactly.
to watch the Starlets team yesterday. First of all, Monica, Ghana scored the first goal. Brilliant goal scored to ensure we were up by a goal to 0. Kawawa with a goal for Ghana.
And then the Ayamga.
And then Ayamga
Their name seems to me.
Very interesting names they have there. Now, take a look. If you missed at the game, take a look at the second goal that was scored by the Starlets team yesterday. They had over 27 passes put together before the goal. If you missed it, just watch it now. How the team built this up to the goal and how they scored the goal against the side from Benin yesterday.
Godwin Atram as the Starlets come forward again. Kagawa seems to be the player that holds the fort for the Ghanaians.
Confidence is skyrocketed, the Starlets. See the way they are moving the ball around with so much confidence.
Yeah. He is once again very swift on the ball and thinks on his feet as well. I see a cross-section of his colleagues from Atram Devisa Academy cheering him on, of course making them proud as well as Ghana come forward again. The last pass finds Captain Chivanyo, who does very well, holds on to it. Bafa finds his colleague. Through the middle now. And you notice, Josiah, that just after the goal, they're keeping it tight, they're keeping it careful as Ghana come forward again. Another opportunity for a shot on target. The avalanche of goals has begun.
Moments ago, we were talking about the pace with which they are playing with the Starlets, and already it looks like the floodgates have opened. Careful build-up, slow but precise, and Amyamga outside that 18-yard box. We just struck that one past Kachakolo, and they are in their groove now. We question the intensity, we question the hunger and desire, because they already have a foot in the next round, but it looks like they are now getting started. Ayamga, what a goal it was. Just slotting that one past Kachakolo again.
Now tell me what you make of this particular goal scored by the Black Starlets of Ghana. And if you have seen these players, these are real Black Starlets. These are very young boys. If you meet them one-on-one, small boys. I mean, Kagawa and the goal scorer, Yamga and the others, one-on-one, if you meet them, nobody will tell you that these boys are really young boys. But look at the football they are playing. A clear identity of how a coach wants them to play. Like you say, agro ball.
Agro ball.
That's what he wants.
For me, it's how, like you're saying, it's how fluid they were playing. Because, like you mentioned in the post-match interview, I think the first game, where he mentioned that they need to do that agro thing for him. Because for me, what I noticed yesterday was, while you keep doing that, giving those passes and all that, you confuse your opponents as well.
You make your opponents frustrated.
Frustrated, because they don't even know what's happening.
But they run around chasing the ball.
Either than just giving that long ball where every eyes is on that ball, and then you get the opponent ready to grab the ball to do what they want to do with it. So it was
brilliant.
fluid.
And that was how the coach, Laryea Kingston, has said over the time he wants his team to play. Not forgetting also that he says it ties into what the GFA have also released as the DNA of Ghana football. That's how they want Ghana football to look like, for all the national teams to play like this.
In the same manner.
Passing football, dominating, and also being in charge to create chances to score their goals. But that's how the goal was scored. Let's take a listen to the coach, Laryea Kingston. Again, tell us after the game why and how his teams are beginning to play this way and are scoring such goals in the ongoing championship being held in Ghana.
They started from the back. They were playing with 1-9. So we made us two centre back got close to them as much as we can, and then play close to their opponent. That's how come we provoke them, and then we leave Ayamga, the goal scorer, and then Kadawa in the pocket space, so that centre backs can find them in those pockets. When they turn offensive turn, they are right in front of the opponent box. So you can see that the moment they got there, beginning of the game, we had a lot of moments in the box, but it wasn't clear. One indication that we gave them is, don't do anything in a haste. Anything you do, make sure you have full control over yourself before you do that. You can see Ayanda got one ball that he has to shoot, but he's not sure if himself. He took a touch and then he played another pass. That was then. Then afterwards, he got that goal in that danger zone, that ball in that danger zone after those passes. That's how come and we don't encourage them to blast shots from 30, 40 yards. We have something that we call XG, expected goals. If someone is standing 40 yards or 30 yards and someone is in the box or the 6-yard box, who have more expected goals, the one in the box. That's what we believe in. That's why we make sure we play passes till we get to the data zone before we try to score. Like the first goal, for instance, he was very patient. He was waiting for the goalkeeper to make mistakes at the middle of the ball. And that's how come we scored a lot of goals. And then the energy part.
And that is Laryea Kingston's explanation on how his team scored the goal they scored. What we showed you just some few moments ago. And you know something about Laryea Kingston and what I'm beginning to like about Laryea and some new coaches in Ghana. Gone are the days when after games you meet some of these coaches and ask them about how things turned out in the game, and they begin like,
we thank God.
We thank God for the results today. And that's all they will say. That's all they used to say.
Tell you, the guy is technical.
But these guys are beginning to tell us they know what they are doing, and they are explaining what they did in the game to the media and everybody. Yeah. And that's what the guys out there do.
Yeah.
It is the reason why I'm beginning to fall in love with the current crop of young coaches who are coming up. Because they're taking the game to the next stage. And like I said, watch the Starlets play in the last 2 matches, and you clearly see that's a coach working. They play according to how the coach wants them to play. If you have met Laryea on a one-on-one and have sat with him, I recall when GH1 TV did a coverage of the World Cup in Qatar.
World Cup coverage.
We did it with him. And anytime we sat with Laryea and spoke about the game, all I kept saying is that for him, football is such that he wants a team that build up from the back, pass the ball into the midfield and then attack. Yeah. That's a system and how he wants his football.
Hold on to the ball.
And if you watch his team play now, you see that in how the team plays.
The reflection of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I recall also some videos came out yesterday before at halftime when the first game against Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana was up 2-0. There was a video that came out yesterday on social media when the coach Laryea
in the dressing room,
the players shouting at them because he wasn't impressed with the game they played, even though they were leading 2-0. I have seen some very funny comments on social media from some quarters. Some saying they don't understand why the coach is being too harsh on his players. And you see, sometimes...
For me, I think he does not want them to be too complacent with whatever that you've done.
What those people don't know in football is that there's something we call mentality in football. And it is everything in football. If your mentality is developed in such a way that you always want to win and dominate. You're never okay with a draw. You're never okay with a defeat. Even when you're up by 2 goals, you still want to go all out and play and win. It's a mentality that is developed in the brain. And for a young player to get that mentality, a coach must be on them to constantly push that into their heads. That's what Laryea is doing to the boys.
To let it sink in.
If you meet and see any of the dressing room videos of Pep Guardiola with his players, you know what I'm talking about here. It is mentality. And so for those who don't understand football and think that what Laryea was doing was, please, you can shut it if you don't understand football. He's doing it for a reason. Meet any of the ex-footballers.
Yeah, he mentioned ACN, he mentioned Apia, he
meet
mentioned
any of the ex-footballers, and they'll tell you, you must build it with the young boys. They must grab it. 2 days ago, when Arsenal lost the EPL and Chelsea City won, they spoke with Rodri, midfielder for City, and asked him why they managed to do it over Arsenal. What was the difference? All Rodri said was that it is a mentality thing. And he said when they met Arsenal at Etihad, Arsenal were then on top of the league table. They were second. But when Arsenal came to Etihad, he said Arsenal boys were playing defending. They were playing for a draw. When they wanted to win.
I remember. Yeah,
and he said that's where they knew
that's the mentality that they have. They didn't come with their A game.
You are a good side. You are even above them. But you come to that venue and you're playing for a draw. And when they got a draw, they were happy. They said the Arsenal fans, players were happy.
Which shouldn't have been so.
And it was like, you guys have drawn the game and you're happy with this draw.
You're happy with it.
It is mentality. So it is what and I love what Laryea is saying to the boys. I mean, he's building up mentality in those boys. And tell you what, these boys, very young, genuinely very, very young, even if they don't end up winning a championship, the future for these boys and their team for me, it looks very, very bright.
Yeah.
Very, very, very bright. What we are seeing of them, even the 2 games we've watched them play at the tournament.
In his post-match presser, he mentioned something that confirmed something for me at the stadium.
Okay.
Another journalist was there with us, and then he mentioned something like in the 18-yard box, he was wondering why our player should get there and still be confused with the ball and want to pass the ball either than shooting, because
not shooting, but
maybe
passing.
at the senior level, maybe Black Stars, the person have all that confidence to shoot. And I mentioned the word to him that it's not that he's not confident in what he can do. It depends on what they have been told.
Absolutely.
And they are going according to what their coach
Absolutely.
has told them. So he came back at the post presser conference and he mentioned that as what they have told them.
Absolutely.
They can make mistakes, all right. That he's told them that once a player, you have someone by
in
you
a better position,
in the better position,
and you're not too
give
sure
out the ball.
of what to do with the ball.
Exactly.
Pass the ball.
Because you might shoot and mess everything up. But when you give to that person, because
still
you are
have
with
the
the ball,
ball.
they are marking you.
Absolutely.
But when you give it out or release it, the person has the opportunity to shoot. And the guy, so he mentioned that every mistake is normal at that their stage because they are developing them.
Absolutely.
It's a developmental stage.
Absolutely.
So they leave them to do it and they correct them after. So for me,
that's it. I think
He's
that
doing
we need to be watching the team under Laryea Kingston and watch the development of the team under Laryea Kingston. He's clearly showing something. I'm happy that we're beginning to trust some of our ex-footballers.
Yeah.
And they are also
yesterday you
beginning
saw
to
them.
show.
A lot of them were there.
Yes, a lot of the
to
Black
give their
Stars players
support
ex
to
were
him.
there. Sule Muntari
Yeah.
was there yesterday. I saw Stephen Appiah also in there
was there.
yesterday. Some people
few.
also at the stadium to support it.
Ajiman Bedu
Emmanuel
was there.
was there. So it is good to see them also coming to support one of their very own. And it is good to have the support of all these ex-players for our national team, the junior national teams, because like I
think
said,
that is going to help
for the
us.
African Games, we saw brilliant display from the under-20 team
Yeah.
who won the African Games.
Yeah.
And we are seeing
Bernard from Benin,
this with Laryea Kingston
Laryea
under
Kingston's
17.
team.
It tells you for me that the future, if you can continue, that's the key point, if you can continue with this process and allow these guys to work and keep the interferences off.
The interferences, that's where the thing is.
Chiefs,
but you see, they are being bold enough to call the shots.
Yeah, okay, 1 minute. The Chiefs, the MPs,
you want to spill it.
The football people, the agents, who are always putting pressure on these
the
coaches
politicians are also bringing
to
their
get
own.
their players in there.
To get them on board.
Please allow these coaches to work with the right players. Let them be the ones to choose the players they want, because they are the ones who can help deliver the trophies and the progression for Ghana. Don't force these your cousins, your nephews on our coaches.
Mikro Muni from my town and all that because you're a politician in parliament.
Onimba and Kofosu, it should not be done. It's a word for our people, our politicians, our chiefs, assemblymen. Please, all of you guys, allow our
They should leave them to work.
Agents, allow people to work. Because that's youth 8 and 17 and 20, that's where they push their players. And some of them even use money to try to influence.
But I think Laryea is standing his grounds.
Laryea, it won't work.
No, he's standing from inside information. He's standing his grounds and he's doing what he has to do.
Allow him to work. This thing that we are seeing, we know he will make 1 or 2 changes when he qualifies for Africa, because he will scout and get a number of players to add. But
I think he still have more.
Allow him free hands to work.
And it applies to all the other stages as well, all the way to the Black Stars.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have players that can do the job. Let's stop this year's scouting and you bring your own player and percentage is score high and that kind of thing. If we do this thing in Black Stars, Ghana Black Stars, it be like the old days that we used to be. It should not be an Abonkele Black Stars.
Anyway, talking about the Black Stars, I'm sure in the coming days, if not hours, Otto releases his final
He's taking charge
squad, because I've seen that of Zambia. Zambia have released their squad for the qualifiers for the World Cup in June. And so I'm sure in the coming days, if not,
Otto will release his
final squad or squad for the World Cup qualifiers.
In June.
Destiny, the final World Cup. It is. So we are it's important.
A lot more on the shoulders of Otuado because it's a crucial 2 games that we are going to play. Mali doesn't come easy at all.
Very important.
And when we lose that game,
trouble.
It means we are out of the World Cup.
Trouble.
We are not going there.
We can't afford to also miss
all the journalists that wants to go with their visas.
Please forget about journalists. It's about Ghana. It's about Ghana.
Is the journalist going to report the game?
It's about Ghana in here.
But of course, many Ghanaians will also want to travel and go and support.
So say Ghanaians.
Okay, Ghanaians. A lot of Ghanaians will love to go and support
our Black Stars, because we always do. It's important.
Our game, Mali.
It's important.
Crucial game.
Very, very important. Anyway, talk about the Black Stars game when it is the days roll by.
Exactly.
And the squad is released by Coach Otuado, who is now fully in charge of the Black Stars team. So enough of that.